to inform you of.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Is it the whiplash you receive from the plastic mountain or the futuristic space mountain that makes us love Disneyland? 55,000 buttons are sewn on a character's costume each year. How many frozen lemonades do you think are sold? I'm going to be speaking to you about the history of Disneyland, the creation, the construction, and its opening day. Almost everybody has visited a Disneyland park, seen a Disney movie, heard a Disney song, or read a Disney book. Since 1955, Disneyland has had millions of visitors. I'm going to share with you some of the fun facts that keep the park's millions of visitors rolling in each year. Most parents have considered visiting Disneyland with their children as a vacation spot because then themselves as visitors as children. I'm going to be sharing with you how Walt made this experience possible. Today I will touch on Walt Disney and his creative plans, the many hours put into this park, and what the park has come to be. So many people visit Disneyland, but so little people know about the man who created it. Here's some information on Walt and his ideas while we now call Disneyland. Walter Elias Disney was born in 1901. Animator, entrepreneur, producer, and screenwriter were just many of his contributions to the entertainment industry. With his brother, he co-founded Disney Production, one of the most commonly known motion picture production companies today. Today it's known as Walt Disney Company. According to DesignDisney.com, the idea of Disneyland was originally called Riverside Drive Theme Park Project. Walt wanted a park where families could come and see their popular cartoon making. A small group of Disney studio employees, planners, and engineers would spend 5 years developing Disneyland. This is the original draw of what the park would have looked like. It's much larger now, but this was the original. This is still here.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys. With some brief knowledge of how the concept of the park came, you can only imagine what it actually took to make Disneyland a reality. After the initial idea was conceived, the first step to building the extravagant park was to find somewhere to put it. Disney acquired 160 acres of land and soon construction began. Walt checked on the progress of the park weekly. In the book, The Hidden Magic of Walt Disney, it is said that he even had a small apartment above the old fire station building where he would check on his employees to reassure them he was working as hard as they were. As months passed, jungles were built, towns created, and the famous castle constructed. This is the castle being built. All the work that we now call the Imagineers pays off when the park opens exactly 365 days later. The grand opening of Disneyland is heavily anticipated. After 365 rigorous days and $17 million spent, Disneyland opens on July 17, 1955. Disneyland featured 5 theme lands and 20 attractions. Not all went smooth for opening day. When 28,000 guests arrived, trees were still being planted, paint was too wet to touch, and women's heels sank into the freshly paved walkway.